Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Love Kind Good, where I kind of just give you guys kind of updates and talk about things that are going on in my life. And today I actually want to talk about, I guess, a modality of healing for myself that's been very impactful. And I just kind of wanted to talk about what it is and how I use it and maybe what's to be expected if you were to go. And that is ecstatic dance. It's a So I'll tell you a little bit about what ecstatic dance is first, and then I'll tell you about why it's been so impactful for me. So ecstatic dance is it's a modality of healing that combines sound, usually music, to a certain frequency or beats. And then the second part of that is conscious or body movement. You don't have to be a dancer to be a part of ecstatic dance. It's just allowing your body to move freely to whatever type of music is playing. I have a very limited experience with this. So don't take anything I say as expert because I'm definitely not. What I have found though is that it's very healing therapeutic for me. So I've only gone to three different types of ecstatic dance, and one of them I've been to multiple times. So I'll kind of talk about each of those as well. So my first experience with ecstatic dance was in Lisbon, doing a retreat there, and the dance itself, it was more of movement, and it was only open to those of us in the retreat. So there was like 20 of us that went. And that was my first experience with just moving the body and releasing all that tension that the body holds. There was it wasn't really it wasn't really meditation or anything like that. It was more of just dancing and body movement. But that was kind of my first experience into that. And then when I moved back to Charlotte in December, I don't even know how I found this. I think somebody sent it to me, and something just clicked that it was very similar to, I think, anyways, I don't remember how I found it. I think maybe a friend maybe sent it to me or told me about it. And yeah, I think I was at a sound bath and they were like, oh, you might really enjoy this. But anyways, so I ended up going to an ecstatic dance, I think in January. And I remember getting there. I Ubered there because they told me that parking was tight. And I got there, and the person that invited me ended up not going. So I ended up going by myself. And, I had a lot of fear stepping into that by myself. It's funny I said that and I seen 333 on the timer. So I had a lot of fear going by myself to an event that I've never gone to. But as many of you know that you've been watching my videos, I've been in this process of stepping through fear and using fear as a catalyst for change. And so I went, and when I got there, they offered ceremonial cacao, which is just another form of medicine to kind of help you open up. And when you take ceremonial cacao, in the practice I did, it was you set an intention, and then so I set the intention of, just kind of releasing that fear and that judgment, fearful of other people judging me for dancing. And so I did that. And then the actual dance itself, it started with just kind of loosening up and just kind of stretching, that kind of thing. And then the ecstatic dance that I did was in Charlotte, and it's Ecstatic Dance Charlotte. And Colleen, the facilitator, she does a really good job at making you feel comfortable and seen, and she makes it very ceremonial and a sacred practice, which is very special. Most ecstatic dances are not filmed. And specifically in Charlotte, she requests that you don't bring your cameras or phones or anything to the actual ceremony. And she opens it up with a meditation, and then in Charlotte, there's a DJ, and the DJ's job or medicine is to take you on this journey. And so, it starts off kind of calm, melancholy. And then at some point in the middle to the middle end, it peaks with, a frequency that just kind of takes you to a space where you can release those intentions, or work on or practice those intentions, whatever your intention should be. And then, you come down, and it brings you down gently. And then in Charlotte, we all gather around in a circle. She holds space for anybody who wants to share anything that has been processed. And I was struggling with being back in Charlotte on that particular dance. And so it was very powerful for me to be there and to practice that. And so, I shared at that closing circle, and then we all took a photo. And so it's just a very powerful way of, for me, it was very powerful and impactful to process that and to get that out and to move my body in a judgment-free place. For me, it was dark. That particular ecstatic dance was dark, which was very helpful for me because, I had that fear. And so in the dark, I was able to focus more inward on myself and not the people that were around me or people that may have been watching me or anything like that. And so that was very impactful. Another ecstatic dance that I went to, so I've gone to several of the ones I just explained to you. I've gone to several of those now here in Charlotte. And then the third one is also by Azul Dance here in Charlotte, or Conscious Movement. I don't exactly know what they go by. I think it's Conscious Movement is their social media handle, but it's like Azul Dance. But Deanne does that, and that one is on I think on Sunday, and it's during the daytime, and that one is a little bit more guided, a little bit more intentional, and it's during the daytime, which didn't necessarily appeal to me because of those fears, but I did overcome that and finally go, and it was good because, again, there was another fear that I was stepping through, and the container or the space that she creates is also a safe space to open up and explore. And what I found were that the people there were also there treating it as a sacred act or a healing modality. And so that was a very nice space to be in as well. Each of these dances, or and every time I go, my mind is blown. What's funny or interesting is that, I'm new to all this. And so my first exposure was in October at that retreat, Wheelhouse retreat in Lisbon. And that was my first exposure. And then I didn't really do it again until January. But now I am so the power and the work that you can do if you are truly seeking to change your life, the work that you can do in that type of environment is just freaking mind-blowing. And so my intention at all these other ecstatic dances have been to release fear, release this, release that. And I was working through so much fear, but now that I've worked through the fear of actually going and being present and being seen there, and what I've learned through the handful of times I've actually been, I'm now able to process things that are not fear-based or fear-related. So, for example, we just had one last night, and my intention last night was to embody my future self, the version of me that I want to become, and welcome that person in. And so, I'm no longer my intention was no longer to release something, but to welcome something in. So what I've taken from that is that through all these other dances I've done is that I've released so much stuff that I was holding in my body, that I've now made space to welcome who and what I want to become. And that's literally the beauty of what this practice allows and welcomes. I have mentioned on here that I do have other things that I enjoy doing. I love sound baths. I love yoga, specifically heated vinyasas, because I love sweating. It feels like I'm releasing something. But the ecstatic dance, and I'll touch on all these as well, just like I have done today as well. But I'm hoping that as I grow and learn and seek more, that I'll have experiences with other ecstatic dances, because each facilitator they bring their own idea of what they think ecstatic dance, or what ecstatic dance means to them, and so they create the container. And so I know a lot of them try to allow the group to navigate it, but it's safe to say that that the facilitator is who creates the environment. They set the stage for your healing. And so I'm interested in going to other ecstatic dances to see what kind of healing comes up. So I hope this helps explain a little bit about what ecstatic dance is, and I hope that it's encouraging to you to just try it. I know that it can be, I know personally the fear that can come up with doing something new, and then doing something so different than what society tells us to do. Now, granted, we do go to nightclubs and we do drink, and I don't drink, but a person would go to a nightclub and drink and dance to music. And I don't want to say it's the same thing, because ecstatic dance in general is a sober event meant to heal. But a person can understand how they feel happy after dancing at a nightclub all night. And so that's the similar vibe is what I was getting at. But anyway, so if you guys have any questions, again, I'm not an expert, but I love to share my experience, especially with healing. And so feel free to leave me a comment if this was helpful, or if you have any questions, reach out. But I love you guys, and I hope you all have a great day. Until next time, take care. Bye.